Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit.
Hey, Herbie!
How we doing, boys?
Okay, so you're at a hotel in Green Bay right now? We got some great.
Yeah, I'll give you the view here.
Well, yeah, I know where he's at. We know where that is.
AJ tracked your tail number.
Ooh.
No, I know what hotel it does that.
Okay. Peter!
Hey!
Love that.
All right, how about this? There you go.
That's the hotel we were in for the draft, isn't it?
Wow. History right there, brother.
I mean, and by the way, look at the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ, Ty, can it get any better?
No. Wow.
Hey, where's those? Zoom in on Lambeau. What you're looking at here is a place that was basically one of the front runners of leading the way for the NFL's growth and development. Their passion, their fan, their history. The historic Lambeau Field with Steve Sable in the NFL films became the standard of television and production for a sport and a league. Saying Curly Lambeau way back in the day had a vision of all these things, and now they're hosting Thursday Night Football on a streaming service.
Wow. Times have changed.
This is the future. This is everything. How do you feel about tonight's game? We just got done talking to Mike McCarthy. He feels good about the green and gold. He will be going to the game. I hope you get a chance to say hello to him. He's a Yinzer legend, obviously. Good guy, loves ball, loves the Green Bay area, and loves the Packers. You love Jayden Daniels coming out of college. You actually told us, hey, the one nobody's talking about right now is Jayden Daniels. He's going to be the guy. It was Army-Navy game. We were in the parking lot in Foxborough, and you said it, and it ended up being very true last year, and it seems like it's only going to continue and grow. How do you think tonight goes, and who do you think should be getting a little bit more of the conversation?
This game, I think Micah Parsons coming in adds to the intrigue, but I think even before that, this game is about as good as you could hope for us. For our opening game to start our season. You mentioned Jayden Daniels. This is a team that went all the way to the NFC Championship game a year ago, and Dan Quinn's first year just changed the trajectory of the franchise, and I think having Jayden Daniels has obviously helped. But you bring over Deebo Samuel now for Cliff Kingsbury, another weapon, another opportunity to kind of move him around. Good news is Terry McLaurin is locked in, and I was just talking to Jayden this week about just trying to get the timing down, and they've spent a lot of time after practice to try to get some makeup reps to try to get things right. And they're going up against, I don't know about you guys, that opening weekend, that was the best defensive effort, not only of the weekend, but probably the best the Green Bay Packers have looked as a unit in a long, long time.
Agreed.
I know people
10 years, 15 years.
I mean, I think a lot of people are going to point to Micah Parsons, but I think it's Jeff Hafley and the combination of just second year in the system. Every time I stop the film, there's 11 green jerseys flying to the football. And I think Parsons helped you really get the stadium engaged, and Mike being back probably helped with that. But it was as an electric of atmosphere. In fact, Matt LaFleur told me this week that it's been a long time since he's heard the stadium that loud, if ever, since he's been the head coach. So there's a lot of juice right now in Green Bay. There's a lot of belief. Jordan Love has really grown up. He sat there behind a Hall of Famer for 3 years. And very proud, by the way, from what he told me this week, to be able to sit there for 3 years and learn from Aaron. And then, he was kind of a young guy. And not only was he young, but a lot of young pieces around him. And now these guys have all had an opportunity to work together for these last couple years. And now in his third year as a starter, they've grown. And I think they are now a team not only that's going to be fun to watch tonight, but as Ty will tell you, I think all year. I think they're a legit NFC Championship contender. I think if they can stay healthy, I think the defense is real. And I think with this offense now in the third year of Matt, along with Jordan Love and the pieces that they have, don't be shocked. I mean, Matthew Golden is a guy that, I think when you go back to the draft, a lot of people were talking about a lot of different guys. Golden, to me, I don't know if it'll happen tonight, but at some point, I think he's going to be a guy that could potentially be in the Rookie of the Year conversation. I think he's the guy that could be electrifying, ridiculous ball skills, and you put him into this system with the pieces that they have. I'm excited to see what he can do. But then again, he's going up against a defense that's got a lot of new faces up front. I don't know if you saw Ken Law last week. Holy cow. Just a game wrecker, finally healthy. So yeah, there's a lot, dude. This is excited as I've been for a Thursday night game in a long time.
Let's go. We like that.
Yeah.
You talked about LaFleur talking about the environment being the loudest it's ever been. He has tried to get that stadium since he got there. He is a big one of these guys.
Yeah.
You know, he's a big one of these in his pants with the eyebrows looking unbelievable. He will be super intense. He will do this one here. He understands the value of a good home field advantage. And I was told that when Micah went out there, the pop was outrageous. I mean, it was like a huge welcoming into it all. And then whenever he went out for the first third down, Mike McCarthy said as soon as he went out there for first third down, the place won.
And when he got his sack, the place
went absolutely crazy.
Sure.
And then the boys went crazy too. It's like the vibes feel like very, very good for them. And if you're the Washington Commanders, they held the Giants to how many points last week?
6.
6 points.
Yuck.
They got to feel damn good about where they're at. And talking about feeling good, Amazon should feel great about this.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm pumped for you guys. We are all very pumped for you guys that this game is happening. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Kirk, I don't know if the coaches, give you any insight when you have your production meetings, but the Packers' offensive line's a bit banged up. Going to have some new guys in there, maybe not a ton of experience together. What do you think they do to try to help those guys out if, to maybe slow down this Washington rush? And is Josh Jacobs going to be able to find a way to pick up some valuable yardage on the ground?
Not surprised. You're all over it. It's a huge story. Zach Tom, especially the right tackle. It's really sad that he ends up getting injured on a play that didn't even count. The potential pick six that Aiden Hutchinson pushed Jordan Love into him. He goes down, and I think it's going to be a game time decision. They're very, very hopeful, obviously, that he can go. But if he's down, he cannot go. Significant loss. Jordan Morgan also may have to go in and play some guard. Darian Kennard, who I think he's had one start in his career. That was last year, where he gave Lane Johnson a little bit of a break at Week 18 in Philly. If Zach Tom can't go, he'll probably be the guy that ends up starting. Anthony Belton, who's a rookie as well, kid out of NC State, probably get some reps. But that is a big-time concern. This is an offense that wants to be balanced. Last week, you saw what they can do throwing the football. But if you really watch these guys, Josh Jacobs, I don't know if you can handpick a better back because of his physicality, because of the weather as the seasons change. He is a perfect fit for what LaFleur likes to do. But that line of scrimmage, I think, is a massive conversation tonight, especially if they're dinged up, going against Payne and Kinlaw and Armstrong and Wise. Dan Quinn said, hey, we got all the way to the NFC Championship game, but we had to make some changes. They brought in 4 guys to that defensive line. They upgraded a corner. So this is going to be a real test. This is kind of a litmus test to really find out how much Washington has improved as a unit, and especially on the defensive side of the ball against this Green Bay offense.
Dan Quinn always has good Ds. You would assume. Hold Giants to 6. I assume they're going to want to hunt tonight, especially if there's a couple guys out on the offensive line. Offensive line, not good, nothing good. Mm-hmm. That is just the story of every single game. Last question about tonight before we move on to different subjects. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Herbie, a lot of people are talking about various different things. Packers offense, Micah, Jayden Daniels, et cetera, but no one's really talking about Bill Krosky-Merritt. And, no one really knew who this guy was when he got drafted. They trade Brian Robinson. He gets the lion's share of the carries on Sunday, and he looked unbelievable. Like, how big of an impact do you think he's going to have not only tonight but the whole year on this team's offense?
I think it's huge, and I don't know if he just is Bill, straight up Bill. I was talking to their coaches about, he's Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who was at Arizona and only played 1 game last year because of some eligibility issues. And by the way, when he only got to play 1 game, they're trying to figure out the eligibility issues in Tucson. Dude's down at the scout team running against the first team defense, trying to, instead of just saying, this is BS, why am I doing this? He kind of gives you a little bit about his attitude. Typical 7th round draft pick, playing with a chip on his shoulder, runs hungry. And with Eckler, more of a third down guy, and with Brian Robinson, who's obviously no longer here, they moved him. It's a huge story. And this guy kind of came out of nowhere, won the job essentially in camp. And it's one of these feel-good stories because of his story and where he came from. But guy didn't play hardly at all. Nobody, including the Mel Kipers of the world, probably as much as they build their list of the draft, not a whole lot of people knew much about this guy, but who goes by just the name Bill. No last name, just call me Bill. But tonight, if they're gonna do their thing offensively, as much as we're gonna focus in on Jayden Daniels, our boy Bill, 22, is going to have to be featured and have to have a big night.
All right, last question before we head to the digital world of YouTube.
What's the clock say?
You got 3 minutes.
Okay.
But
all right.
It's worthy of a good 3 minutes. We'll obviously wrap this thing up in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds talking about tonight's game.
Sure.
And we will expect you to give some sort of lean, even though I'm calling a game, I can't pick it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I hate that. But let's talk about the big weekend for college, especially for us. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Herbert, you guys are going to Knoxville, Tennessee, where Georgia has had their number the last 8. I believe in Heupel hasn't been good against Kirby since he's been there. But do you think there's a chance that this year, with this new Tennessee offense with Aguilar, has a chance against the Dogs?
Tone, I love your college football knowledge. I love it, man. I know you know the NFL inside and out, but I love how you get knee deep in the college world. I'm really falling in love with Aguilar. I don't know if it should be just because of the circumstances. I turned on the film this week, getting ready for this game, getting ready for that game. And I was excited to kind of look at Georgia and Tennessee because they've just been both these teams a bit off the radar these first couple weeks. Let me tell you that this offense of Tennessee's they've reloaded out at wide receiver. They got some new backs, obviously a new quarterback, but they're still running that Josh Heupel scheme. But this is Georgia, right? And this is where you really find out where you are as an offense. But what he's doing, and for a guy that went from App State to UCLA, then Nico comes to UCLA, he goes to Knoxville. The guy, again, 2 weeks in, seems to be in complete command. Just a guy in this NIL transfer portal era. Looks to be a guy that you kind of know what you're going to get. But Josh Heupel's done great work with him up to this point. But this will be a big test because, man, when I turned on the film to look at Georgia, because there's a lot of new faces on that Georgia defense, they are still recruiting and developing. Wow. They can fly. They're physical, athletic. They've just completely reloaded, and they can get after it. So great game. Being in Knoxville obviously gives them an advantage, but historically, since Heupel has been in Knoxville, he has struggled against Kirby Smart defense. So they got to come up with some answers this week, even though this game's at home. But Georgia, man, I feel like people are forgetting a little bit about Georgia, forgetting a little bit about Oregon as far as like who are teams that can make a run and be there at the end. And I think Georgia this week will be fun to kind of really see where they are because this will be a good test for them, obviously going on the road in Knoxville.
Yeah, I think for both of them, it's a hello to the entire world. Like, hey, remember us? And tonight, it's hello from the Commanders and the Packers with Kirk Herbstreit on the call alongside Al and Kaylee Hartung. We'll see you then. Yeah, we got there. Good answer by you. Good answer by you as well.